All right, so you should have your display set up, but we have this issue where everything's crunched together. We're not spreading it out across the whole world. So graphical user interfaces are always specific to the programming language. I can have you sit down and memorize all the different nuances of how to set this one up, and you will go to Java and it'll do it a totally different way. Or you'll go to a different framework in Java, or you'll go to the web, or you'll go to C, or whatever. And this is always something built by a person on their preferences, on their background, on their style, whatever. It's not fundamental concept of computer science, the way to build a GUI. There's some ideas that transcend it all, though. One of the ideas is I can align things. I can align them left, I can align them center, I can align them to the right. So one bit I'm just going to tell you right away because I just happen to remember it is part of the grid is I can make the grid contents be sticky, if you will, to the left-hand side, to the right-hand side of the grid, to the top, to the bottom, or even put it in the middle. And the way it actually refers to it is north, south, east, and west. So top is north, bottom is south, left is east, left is west, east, right is east. So the check label number, I want this one actually to be over on the right-hand side. So if you think about it, sorry, my mouse is not on my screen. There. Yeah, so top is north, bottom is south, west is east, west is left, and east is right. Not west is east. So let's add in this parameter called sticky, and let's make it sticky to the east. And then what I'm hoping this does is it takes our check number 101, 1001, and puts it all the way over here on the right. Oh, it didn't do anything. Crap. That's terrible. So what's going on? Well, my assumption was that this box was here for the contact info, and the bank name was here, and then this goes all the way over the edge, and if I put this to the east, it would, bing, put it all the way over to the right. But it didn't happen. So there's other things I can do to play with this. Now, I think this is where we can introduce another concept, self.checkNumberLabel. And this is a big Python concept, .configure. The configure is like this super method as part of this most components that allows you to change anything like the background. And I'm going to make the background of this one, let's just say purple. It's my favorite color, so any excuse to use purple. Oh, okay. So yeah, you can see I configured the background to be purple, but look, it's this tiny little label that is living all the way to the, it's just living in this spot. It doesn't stretch all the way over. So that just confirms that. This is a little trick that I use frequently to say, okay, why isn't this going where I want to? Well, I just change the background to purple and say, okay, well, there you go. So let me actually just show you this. Self.window.configure background to be purple. And then our whole purple background, and actually it shows up here. This goes all the way over, but you can see these components actually only go a tiny little bit. These don't actually fill up the whole items either. They're actually anchored in the center of their cell, and there's some background behind it. So my issue is actually not with the component. My issue is with the window, that I need my items to spread through the entire size of the window. And so how do I do that? Well, that is done, well, I mean, if you're not sure, the best answer is Google, Python, enter, enter, window, full width. So create a full screen window. No, that's not what I want. How do I get a screen size tinker? Okay, well that's not a very good Google search. Window contents full width. No. Window grid full width. So one of the tricks in programming is to learn enough about the words and enough about the concepts to be able to even search the right thing on it, right? I started very, very simple and I had to get more specific because it was telling me useful stuff. How do I make the window full size? But what I want to do is set grid width entry 100%. So this gets into kind of a tough bit where I'm searching through. Oh, wait, but look at this. Column configure. All right. Well, this may or may not make sense for you. You can Google column configure, find out more information about it. And I'm just going to jump to explain it to you because I'm here. That's what I'm here for, occasionally at least. But I'm not always going to be here for you. And that's why it's important for you to, learn that Google is your friend. You should be using it. You should be building these things as you go. So what I want to say is, okay, well, my window, I want to use that method column configure, and I can configure each column individually. Um, and so there's a couple different ways I can do this, but I can make the columns, of varying sizes, right? I can make them, go through. And so I'm actually going to go put that middle column, column one. I want that one to be really, really, really wide. And so I want to make the weight of this to be twice the weight of the other two columns, right? So I want this to be a big column in the middle. And let's see what this does for me. Oh, look at that. So this one has basically all this weight inside of here, and it shoves my check number to the right. It keeps um, my contact information to the left, and now this all of a sudden ends up being centered for this one. So this is going to have some ramifications as we go through the rest of the display, and we need to try that out. But it does get us set up this way. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to start adding a few items down through the rest of the display. There's going to be a few of them that are going to be difficult because we have like a date and a text box. We haven't talked about text box yet. But before we do that, remember, you can Google whatever you want to. You can look up things. You can practice it that way. So I'm going to show you how to do some of this in a second. But my challenge to you is going to be at least add in a few of these labels through the rest of the display and maybe try to put some of this and take a guess at it just to give it a try. So that way when I come through in the next video and show you what I did, maybe you can start to see how your research either can be improved by better terminology, or maybe how you're actually starting to be able to find a few things on your own. So give that a shot, and we'll come back in the next video.